Recording in progress.
It's the 6th of Tishrei, 5786. Over the past few weeks, when I've been recording these talks, and when I've been speaking in shul, I've been thinking about the whole concept of Tishrei and judgment, and the idea that the Rambam talks about us being in scales that are balancing very finely. And I've also been thinking a lot about the fact that for each and every one of us, we all have obstacles and we have impediments, but we also have gifts and blessings to meet these challenges. If you learn through the books of Nunavim, the prophets, you get to the book of Kings. And in the book of Kings, there's a story about a woman approaching the prophet Elisha in absolute desperation. She just lost her husband, and the family was in such debt that the creditors were coming to take her two sons as slaves. And when she cried out for help, Elisha responds in an interesting way. He says, Ma yesh lach babayit? What do you have in the house? Now, Elisha didn't ask her, do you have anything in the house to help you? But he said, what do you have? There's got to be something you already have that we can work with. And I think that's a message for all of us. We need to think about the qualities and talents that we possess that can help us succeed in our work, in our careers, in our relationships, and indeed in our spiritual growth. During this time of year, we need to ask ourselves, are we using our gifts and resources that we have at our disposal? Or are we actually allowing the challenges to keep us from being our best selves? If we think about it, we so frequently define ourselves according to our limitations rather than our possibilities. Yes, we all have impediments, we all have flaws, but we were given talents and strengths to compensate that. The question that we need to think about is, do we pay more attention to our flaws or our talents? The challenges or our strengths? I started by talking about Rambam, Maimonides. Rambam explained that the purpose of the shofar on Rosh Hashanah is, yes, to wake us up from our slumbers. It's easy to get distracted by our surroundings and everyday responsibilities, and not so easy to wake up and do an honest assessment. What are our impediments, and more importantly, what are our strengths that we can use to overcome those challenges? The shofar was sounded to wake us up to the great brachot, the great blessings that we have right before us. We should be turning to Hashem and saying, yes, we have weaknesses, but this year we're going to use our strengths that you blessed us with to compensate for those limitations, so we can fulfill our life mission and reach our spiritual potential. Let's work with what we've got and use what we have in our house to elevate ourselves and the whole world around us.